Vacha kalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much for honoring us with your presence on this auspicious month of Kartik. So it is said that the only thing more auspicious than Kartik is to worship deities in the month of Kartik. The only thing more auspicious than worshipping deities in the month of Kartik is Sankirtan. And the only thing that is more glorious than Sankirtan in the month of Kartik is to have the association of Vaishnavas. So from the bottom of our heart, we want to thank all of you for blessing us and blessing our house with your association. In the Padma Puran, it's mentioned that wherever the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas fall, all the inauspiciousness gets driven away. So every step that they take, it drives away all kinds of inauspiciousness. And every glance that comes from the Vaishnavas, it brings so many benedictions and so many auspiciousness. So the glory of association is mentioned throughout. And in the month of Kartik, everything becomes more potent. So it's said that pious activity in the month of Kartik becomes 10,000 times more pious. So one can only imagine that the association of Vaishnava becomes so much more potent in this particular month. So once again, thank you so much for keeping us in your heart and allowing us to be being a part of your life. So I just wanted to speak a little bit. I've been told to not speak too much. So because we'll do Damodara Ashtakam, and also I think we have good prasadam. So I think we have good prasadam. So not to keep devotees away from prasadam. So I'll speak a little bit briefly about the glories of Kartik. So in the Padma Puran, it's said that of all the days in the year, the festival of Janmashtami is closest to Krishna's heart. Of all the fasting, Janmashtami is also fasting, but of all the fasting that is there in the year, the fasting for Ekadashi is most dear to Krishna. And of all the months, the month of Kartik is most dear. And the reason is that Kartik is the presiding deity of Kartik is Srimati Radharani. And everything connected, Srimati Radharani is very dear to Krishna. So everything connected to Srimati Radharani is very, very dear. So sometimes when companies, they want to sell the products, they have like super sale, bumper sale, where things are at half price and lesser. Like Black Friday is coming, things are at a good deal. So Krishna has once a year bumper sale on his bhakti, on his devotion. And the month of Kartik offers us that opportunity, that it is naturally very conducive to spirituality, because the mercy of Krishna is there, mercy of Srimati Radharani is there, and the way that mercy manifests is that a little bit of effort that we do, Krishna becomes very pleased. So Kartik Vrat has an important place in the life of practicing devotees, because it's one opportunity to avail of this buy one get one or buy one get 100 kind of offer. That little bit of austerities from our end, it attracts the attention of Krishna and Vaishnavas. So different people follow different kinds of austerities. Even though chanting is not an austerity, but one typical vrat in Kartik is to chant a fixed number of extra rounds and some more devotional service. Another Kartik vrat that is common is reading some book, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or any other. There are so many books Srila Prabhupada has written, but regularly keeping aside a little bit of time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes to read a book. And from personal experience, I can guarantee you that our rate of absorption is tremendously higher. So things that we might take a while for us to understand, the potency of Krishna's mercy is manifest. That by nature, they are so used to materialistic topics, transcendental topics take a little bit of time, but they seem to flow in much more easier in our consciousness. There are other austerities also. Some people cut down on the eating. That they might eat once a day. Some people eat Ekadashi food for the month. Some people eat uncooked food for the month. I've seen this more in India, not over here, of taking cold water baths. People, they get up in the morning and before sunrise they take cold water baths. So they're all good. Basically, essentially, they are a demonstration of our eagerness to make spiritual advancements. Most potent way is to serve Vaishnavas. So I know there are families in the temple who invite a Vaishnava to their house every day in Kartik and give them some prasadam. And as I said, chanting is a strong, especially some other vrats regarding chanting, that chanting only early in the morning, doing all the rounds early in the morning, chanting from extra rounds, chanting extra attentively. It comes more easily and is more potent. So there are also many festivals that come in the month of Kartik. The most popular being, of course, our pastime of Lord Damodar. When Yashoda Mai, she binds Krishna, baby Krishna. So Damodar means, Damo means binding down, and Udar is belly. So Damodar means bound around the belly. So when we see pictures of Damodar Krishna, we see Krishna bound with an ukhal. So ukhal is a grinding mortar. So it's being bound. And to a great extent, the reason Kartik is also known as Damodar Mas is because that pastime, it personifies the mood of Kartik and Vaishnavas. So the Vaishnavas have this mood that they don't want to be. So the impersonalists, they want to be God. Vaishnavas want to be bigger than God. They want to be greater than God. so Krishna, the personality of Godhead, he's running with fear away from Mother Yashoda. So one of the prayers is that he who is feared by fear personified ran in fear from Mother Yashoda. And the stick that Mother Yashoda had in her hand was a stick of devotion. And Krishna, who is Ajita, he's unconquerable, but he gets conquered by devotion. And Krishna, who is Purnama, who's complete, is unable to reciprocate adequately to his devotees. In the Bhagavatam, there is this beautiful exchange where Krishna generally in Bhagavad Gita, he boasts, right? Ye yatha mam prapadyante, that as you surrender to me, I will reciprocate. And whichever way you come to me, I will reciprocate. But he's defeated by the gopis. He says that your love for me is so much that I am unable to reciprocate to that love. So just consider that love to be the glory. There is nothing that I can give you that you don't have. So I am your debtor. That's the mood of Shuddha Bhakti. It's the mood of pure devotee. So that's why every day in the month of Kartik we sing Damodar Ashtakam. And the Damodar Ashtakam that is composed by Satyavrata Muni, it embodies this mood of relationship between Krishna and his devotees that is very, very unique only between Krishna and his devotees. So when we study the Bhagavatam, we see that the Krishna manifests in different forms. He manifests as Lord Vishnu, he manifests as the impersonal Brahman, he manifests as Paramatma. But then when Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, then there is something that only he can give, which nobody else can give, which is this intense love, this madhurya, this intensely sweet love that the devotees get from Krishna. So it's not that Lord Vishnu does not have that kindness, it's not that Lord Ram is unable to give that love, but it is, the source is Krishna. And Krishna is the storehouse of the love of devotee. So in this month of Kartik, we are about a week into it, and so I know a lot of you have taken some vratas. I would request others also to consider seriously to do something in the service of the holy name or the deities or the devotees or the scriptures, and then you can see experientially how it affects you from inside out. The process of bhakti is all about consciousness. That's why Srila Prabhupada called it Krishna consciousness. Because even though we execute bhakti externally as sadhana vaidhi bhakti according to vidhis, but the real driver is that we don't want to be the perfect arti, do the perfect arti. We don't want to be the perfect reciters of the shlokas. It'll be good. It's not that we shun that, but that's not our aim. Our aim is to be the perfect servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. That's our aim. And the glorification of the Das, Anudas is the essence of the Damodar Leela. That when we see the Damodar Leela, and especially when we do the Damodar Ashtakam, then Satyavrata Muni, you can see how he extracts this essence of that pastime. It's a very sweet pastime, you all know that. It's a very, very sweet pastime. It's often picturized and dramas and all that. So even as a pastime, it's very sweet. But when you see under the covers what is happening. That how Krishna is controlled by his devotee, how Krishna is bound by the ropes of affection from his devotee, how Krishna is actually fearful of displeasing his devotees, and how Krishna's devotees, they will do anything and everything for Krishna. So that's the essence that gets distilled from this pastime. So I'll stop over here to see if there's any comments or discussions.
Prabhu, I read it somewhere. The month Kartik comes from Kritika, which is one of the names of Radharani. I just want to validate is that.
That is true. The question is the two sources of the name Kartik. So Kritika is also a constellation, name of a star. So this is the month where the presiding star is Kritika, and Srimati Radharani, as the daughter of Kitida, is called Kritika. So it's also the month of Srimati Radharani. So we can do Damodarashtakam now? We can do that after the Damodarashtakam? Is that okay?
The Damodarashtakam is usually at the end, right? We do Narsimha prayer and then we do the Damodarashtakam.
Okay.
So we can talk a little more, but the offering is going on.
Okay.
We can discuss about tomorrow's.
Okay. So, Rajneeshwar?
Yeah, one question, Prabhu. So, it occurs every year, right? So, in the time when Krishna was there, so there is this pastime of Yashodamai and Nandlal. How about the other years in the following time? What happened? Are there more pastimes? Like one is appearance of Radha Kund, I guess, during the same month. Are there more instances of pastimes?
Within the month of
Kartik and the following years in the life of Krishna.
Kartik actually has a lot of festivals. So the one that is actually coming, so in a few days, is the appearance of Radha Kund. So that's a major festival. In Vrindavan, it's a big festival. It's called Bahulashtami. And it went. It's past.
Last
Augustami is coming.
It was on Wednesday.
It was on Wednesday.
October. Yeah, very close.
Okay.
That's over.
That's in
Now we
Diwali.
have Diwali, Golden
Next.
Puja, and then
Yeah,
the last day of
okay.
Kartik, which is Tulsi Shalikam.
Tulsi Vivah. We have the last 5 days, which is Bhishma Panchak. It's a good idea to fast all 5 days. Chant 64 rounds and fast all 5 days. The people in Mayapur do that. They fast 5 days. They'll drink water, of course, but they'll fast 5 days and they chant 64 rounds. Bhishma Panchak is also very important. It starts on the last Ekadashi and then it ends on the full moon. Full moon or Amavasya? I think full moon day. It ends. There is Bali Daitya Raj Puja. That also happens in Kartik. There's Dipavali, of course. There is Narkasur Vat. It's the one day before Diwali, Choti Diwali. There is Narkasur Vat. At least in our house, they would say that you should take a bath on that day. Otherwise, you'll go to the board of Narkasur. Narhar Chaturdashi. And there are quite a few. I may be missing some.
One Prabhu was saying Govardhan Puja also, but I don't know whether that's within the calendar.
There is Govardhan Puja is Thursday. There is I think before Choti Diwali there is Dhanteras also.
Yeah, that is usually.
Right, and you buy a new vessel and you cook something what is that for? So Dhanteras is the appearance of Lord Dhanvantri. So when the churning of the ocean happened, then Lord Dhanvantri came carrying a vessel which had nectar in it. So I'm not sure what the correlation is, but that's why I think the vessel represents the vessel of Lord Dhanvantari. And typically speaking, you boil milk in it, and make some like kheer or something like that and offer to the deity. It's probably the Mataji started it just to get some.
The 5 days of the Diwali, that is the significance, that starts from tomorrow. Dhanteras
Yeah, Akshay Prabhu?
So Roji, it seems like, of course, there's Krishna Leela and pastimes that he did during this period, this time.
Right.
They're all like kind of one after the other. But there are also like Leelas from other yugas embedded in this. I was just curious, like, is there anything from Chaitanya Leela? Anything during Kartik?
Anything from Chaitanya Leela?
Or any pastime with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Not that I know of. It's a good question. Not that I know of. The Prabhu is asking, is there any pastime from Chaitanya Leela that happened in Kartik? So, nothing comes to my mind, but I can check. And, I know for the month of Kartik, so Mahaprabhu had 2 batches of devotees. One was Jagannath Puri and the other was Mayapur. So for the month of Kartik, they would go. So that was one time when all the devotees would get together. So the Mayapur devotees, that time they had to mostly walk. So they would walk to Puri, and they would spend Kartik with Mahaprabhu. And, so they used to have a lot of celebrations at the time.
Question. How many times Krishna got bound by rope, one by Yashoda Maya, and then another also Krishna was tied up by.
Yeah. So the question is, how many times does Krishna play the Damodar Leela? So there are 2 prominent, because 3, but 2 prominent. The most prominent is Yashoda Damodar, where Yashoda Mai binds Krishna by the ropes. Then there is Radha Damodar, in which Srimati Radharani, she takes. So that also comes in the month of Kartik. It is known as Nidhi. So Krishna. So Nidhi is the strings that the gopis wear on the petticoat. So she takes that and she binds Krishna. Krishna was being naughty or something. She gets upset at her and binds. So that is the other Damodar Leela. Third one, which also happens in the month of Kartik, is when he is bound by the gopas. So again, Krishna was being naughty. He kept disrupting the play, and the gopas said, "You just stay here." They tied him to a tree and they went away. So the 3 Damodar Leelas actually happen in the month of Kartik, with the 3 main associates Krishna's Vatsalya Bhav, parents, Madhurya Bhav, wife, or Srimati Radharani, and Sakhya Bhav, as gopas. Varsha?
Like if I'm not mistaken, I heard that you said that the absorption during the Kartik month also improves, like our bhakti, especially like which we are like pretending to have it, but not really. So can like that improve too?
It's a good question. So I guess 2-part answer. One is bhakti is kind of natural. We don't pretend to have bhakti. It's the natural state of our existence. We've forgotten about it. But Prabhupada would always say that the constitutional position of this jiva is to be a pure devotee. Right? And sometimes that consciousness is more covered, sometimes is less covered. Even over the day you will see that in the morning it's less covered, in the night it's more covered. When you're more in the mode of goodness, then it's easier to chant your rounds, easier to read and grasp. night it's a little bit more difficult. So part of it is because of the influence of the modes. So in the month of Kartik, it's not so much because of the modes, but it's because of mercy. That it's Srimati Radharani's main absorption is to get more and more souls out of the material world. So she keeps going to Krishna and she says, do something else, do something else. Krishna is okay, but Srimati Radharani is very soft-hearted. So Krishna sees all this suffering, he can tolerate it. Srimati Radharani cannot tolerate it. So a lot of opportunities that we get over here are because of really the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Krishna appearing in a deity form, Krishna appearing at all in the material world. So Radharani keeps nagging Krishna that do something else to reclaim these souls. And Krishna, if he doesn't listen to Radharani, who will he listen to? So Kartik is that. It is Srimati Radharani asking Krishna for this benediction that this particular month, for all my children who are trying to one way or the other come back to me, make it easier for them, give them an opportunity. And Krishna says, okay. Any other thoughts, questions? Anybody would like to share their Kartik realizations? Anybody has been to Vrindavan in Kartik? Been to Vrindavan? So if you've been to Vrindavan in Kartik, then you get first-hand an experience of what is the influence of Kartik on devotees. There are devotees who will do Govardhan Parikrama every day of the month in Kartik. And Kartik is like it's like you see Black Friday over here. Kartik is like that in Vrindavan. Everything is super crowded. So generally speaking, you can do parikrama, you can just walk. But during Kartik, you have to literally push yourself because there are so many people on the parikrama marg. And it's interesting to see how everybody is offering to the best of their ability. People, they are walking, people are doing Dandavat Parikrama, people are on rickshaws, some people do car Parikrama, they're on the car and they're honking and doing...
Parikrama start from Kartik.
Parikrama starts from, yeah. And a lot of the Braj Mandal, the largest Parikrama, that starts on Kartik. Yeah. And the mood is...
7 days.
Yeah.
Govardhan is Sunday and all that, but the Braj Mandal is like 1 month.
That is the 84 crores, 84 crores. Yeah. But the purpose of all the parikrama, because if you look at it, when you do parikrama, what are you circumambulating? You're circumambulating devotees. Like when you do parikrama of Govardhan, so Govardhan is Krishna and Krishna is devotee. So you're circumambulating Govardhan. When you do the 84 crores Vrindavan parikrama, then you're circumambulating all the devotees who are living in Vrindavan. So there's a smaller parikrama, that's just the Vrindavan parikrama that happens. And really speaking, in that parikrama, there's nothing else. There's only parikrama marg, but essentially because it goes around Vrindavan, so you are circumambulating the Brajvasis at the time. So the real purpose of the parikramas, the real purpose of going to Vrindavan is now the mood has changed a little bit. A lot of people come and it's very much focused on taking darshan and going back. But traditionally people would go to tirthas with the mood of service. That they would go and they would try to do some service. So either they would give in charity or they would try and do some personal service. That still there is, it's still there. There are people who do that. I remember once we were in Kartik and we wanted to feed the devotees, and the devotees were so busy, they had so many invitations that we weren't able to get devotees to feed. So they said, no, not this day doesn't work, this day doesn't work, and then we were able to get one slot, and they came in and and we were able to have them honor prasadam there. But so you see that mood exemplified in Vrindavan there. Mangal Aarti is very heavily attended during Kartik. One of the things that is good in Kartik, at least one day I attend Mangal Aarti. Yeah. So tomorrow we are also planning to have early morning Aarti at 6 o'clock, and after that chanting through the day, anything from 0 to 64 rounds, or 0 to as many rounds. Good to chant 64 rounds, but whatever. I think the plan is, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but the plan is that there are 2 Ekadashis. So both Ekadashis will chant 64 or up to 64 rounds. And because I think most of us are, have small children, so the idea is tomorrow is more for Prabhus and
No, it's
No?
more like
Okay,
that. It's
sorry.
just whoever can come, but one of the spouses, I guess, so that the other can stay home with the kid.
Okay. These things are a little dynamic, to keep changing. So anybody can come, or even the kids can come and do. But it's basically getting the cream of the cream. That we have Vaishnav Sang, we have Harinam going on, we have DTs, and it is the month of Kartik. So it's Prabhupada would say that just like a materialist is always alert to make profit. So they look at the stock market, they look at different things and say, if I put money here, I'll get money. The spiritualist is even more greedy to profit. The only thing is the profit is spiritual profit. So this is the month where we can exemplify that mood of wanting more, trying to get a little and get more. We of course want to give as much as we can, but we have this concession that for little we can get more. And the mercy for Kartik can carry us throughout the year.
So there is another important day, Prabhupada's disappearance.
The Prabhupada disappearance day also, right? That happens right after
Deepavali.
Right after Deepavali. Yeah.
Next year. After Govardhan. That's second day, okay. After Govardhan, yeah.
After Govardhan. Isn't Govardhan the last day of Tulsi Puja is the last?
Yeah, Deepavali next day is
Tulsi Vivah is the last.
I think Deepavali next day is the Govardhan.
There's 15 more days.
Govardhan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we are 1 week into Kartik. 1 week and 3 days into Kartik.
But somewhere in Kartik it comes that Prabhupada's disappearance after Govardhan. Next day, Govardhan. Correct.
So
Can we go to Kartik, in Kartik month, our whole Namhat group to Vrindavan?
Vrindavan? So this Kartik we won't be able to do it.
No, not this Kartik. This once, like maybe 2 years or
That's a good idea. What says that?
we can plan and
Shivani also has a good idea. Yeah. In this Kartik itself, as a group, as now time you can go for Mangal Aarti.
Mangal Aarti
That's a good
in the
idea.
temple.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Mangal Aarti is at 4:30.
AM also.
4:30 a.m.
Even kids everybody's going to return to
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yeah. So we should go for Mangal Aarti and we should do some service as a temple.
Ravi
Okay, so we can have the nursing day prayer. Prabhu, can you call the children? We'll do nursing day prayer.